Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Southfield Area State of the City 2022, a celebration of change. My name is Jasmine Patton, the Executive Director for the Southfield Area Chamber of Commerce. We are proud to host this annual event in partnership with the City of Southfield and our presenting sponsors, Lawrence Technological University and Ascension Providence Hospital. The support of our partners and sponsors make this event possible. A special thank you to Regency Manor for your hospitality and co-hosting this event. Today, we gathered to celebrate the positive changes taking place within our city, businesses, and communities. Together, we share a vested interest in the future of the City of Southfield and Lathrop Village. We hope that you enjoy your lunch. We have several exciting presentations, including Southfield Mayor Kenson Siver, Lathrop Village Mayor Kelly Garrett, and other special guests. The speakers during today's presentations will share how, despite many challenges, through their leadership, our future is bright and we have much to celebrate. As a special bonus, we will have a Q&A session later in the program where you may ask questions and engage with our finest business leaders. I would like to personally thank each and every one of you for attending today. I hope that you find today's program informative and rewarding.
Well, good afternoon. Always a little nerve-wracking when you're depending on technology to sync with everything that you want to get across today. So, welcome. It's great to see everybody in person and a full house. Very, very pleased that you're all here today. I want to do some quick introductions. First of all, I'd like to introduce members of our City Council. Lenny Taylor, Council President, please rise. Michael Ari Mandelbaum, our Council President Pro Tem. Nancy Banks, Dan Brightwell, Lloyd Cruz, Myron Frazier, and Jason Hoskins. Our city clerk is out of town today, but I know our treasurer, Irv Lowenberg, is with us. We have a great team, and partners with us is a great city administration. So I'd like to introduce City Administrator Fred Zorn and Deputy City Administrator John McGreeno. With us today are also members of the Southfield Board of Education. Superintendent Green is here. Board members, if you'd stand. Thank you for being here. Also, we have judges of the 46th District Court. I know I saw a couple of them, Chief Judge Johnson and Deborah Nance. Okay. And I certainly want to make sure that everybody knows that our Congresswoman, Brenda Lawrence, is here. Great that you could join us today. We also have, and there are too many to mention, so I want to introduce and ask you to stand. We have a great team of hardworking people in the City of Southfield. So our department heads, if you would stand. Fire, police, building, planning, engineering. Thank you all for being here. So let's want to get right into this. So the chamber asked me, so if there's anybody disgruntled, the chamber asked me to change the format this year. In the past, I've done this long, comprehensive report on things in the city, and this year I was asked, why don't you focus on and expand on some particular topics. So today we're going to be discussing placemaking in public art, new housing, business developments, and Northland revitalization. After the presentations, we'll have a panel with Terry Crote, our city planner, David Dubuquet, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Contour Companies, and Dolores Flagg, the Chair of the Southfield Public Arts Commission. So, starting right out with placemaking, our objective is to strengthen the connection between people and the places we share. Placemaking refers to the collaborative process by which one can shape our public realm in order to maximize a shared value. So we've done a great deal of work in the last decade in making a greater sense of place in this community. We're working to transform Southfield to a more pedestrian-friendly, more bicycle-friendly city. And this is a challenge for us because Southfield, as one of the boom towns in post-World War II, was designed around the automobile. We had all these setbacks, we had large parking lots. A lot of neighborhoods did not have sidewalks. And the engineers of the time, it was all about moving traffic as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And so we're trying to soften that auto-dominated edge that our city has had for decades. And so we're doing that through various placemaking initiatives. And so you've probably seen these as you travel about Southfield: benches, planters, trash receptacles, bike lanes, pathways, wider sidewalks, wayfinding signage, so on and so forth, to make it a more friendly environment. And so one of the things that we've done is we've added miles of pathway. We're continuing every year to add more and more sidewalks, more and more walkable paths. And so this past year, past summer, we opened up another stretch of Northwestern Highway alongside LTU. We had a great opening with the LTU band, which is fabulous. And unlike other communities where they've done the pathways along rivers or abandoned railroads, rail tracks, our pathways are following our major arteries. So up and down Northwestern Highway, not only do we have walkways, but we have interesting points of destination. So this year, besides that, the work that we're doing in other places in the city, we are finishing that last link on Northwestern Highways, Lasher to Civic Center Drive on the south side. And we appreciate Eaton and several of the businesses for giving us the right-of-way we needed. And typically what you see in the left side of the screen, something we refer to affectionately as goat paths. We know people are walking and they need to get from place to place, but there's no sidewalk. And so this goat path that you're seeing here along Southfield Service Drive will be replaced this summer. And I'm very, very grateful to the support of City Council in dedicating the money for these improvements to make our city more walkable. And again, not only is it about paths, but it's about placemaking. So several years ago, you may remember that we put up the Red Pole Park. We had a patronicity grant for $55,000 and doubled that with private donations. And some people ridiculed the Red Pole Park when it first started. It's now become very endearing. If you Google Red Pole Park, you will see all kinds of people are posing there. It's become It's an endearing place, and it's what we're doing along our pathways, so that it's not just a path, it's an adventure. So we're also very big on public art, and I'm thankful for the partnership that we have with the Public Arts Commission, the City Center Advisory Board, which has joined us in this, the Friends of Southfield Public Arts, and certainly the work of our planning department and my office. Again, this is, we're on a mission to add art to our city, and I'm very proud of the fact that we have, in the last 6 years, installed 23 new pieces of art in the city of Southfield. Much of it sparked, thank you. And much of it was sparked by the fact that Northland was going into receivership, and we had gotten wind that Dumas Shells was set to auction the collection. And again, I'm grateful to the City Council for supporting this. I went to the City Council and the City Administration and said, we cannot save Northland as it's constituted at the time, but this art should never leave Southfield. So we started with the Save the Bear, Boy and Bear campaign, and we have rolled out much of that collection, restored it and placed it. So again, other pieces from Northland, including the peacock, we added peace poles, several other things, including the Motown mural, Moby Dick, redoing the whole library fountain was a major undertaking. So we're extremely pleased that we've done this, but we've also been joined by a number of private partners. So a number of local businesses have stepped up to this challenge, and there's well over a dozen new art installations, including the one in the center here, which is we just opened or dedicated at New Soul Garden Restaurant. The Bland wall over at Glassman Auto has become a huge mural. And then we retained the services of a wonderful Detroit artist, Dr. Hubert Massey, who is working currently on 2 installations, one along the pathway outside of Lawrence Tech, and another which will be on 11 Mile Road. So again, we have community participation in this. These are ceramic tiles. Community history is reflected, and community members, as you can see in the photograph, helped glue those tiles in place. More is coming. So I want to move to the second major initiative, something that's very, very near and dear to me. I've always been a neighborhood person, and if you don't have good neighborhoods in a city, you really don't have much of a city. And so, again, with our housing boom, most of it happened in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Time moves on. We have to keep our neighborhoods up. We have to keep our housing stock up. So we've had a number of partnerships. One of our key partners is Habitat for Humanity, which are here today. Habitat, wave wherever you are. Thank you. Oakland Rebuilding Together and the Southfield Nonprofit Housing Corporation. Simultaneously, new housing is also in the works. We have identified 3 needs for housing. In the picture is affordable housing built by Habitat. But we also know we need workforce housing, housing that people, average people can afford, workaday people. We need subsidized senior housing. We know we have a huge waiting list for subsidized senior housing. And we need market rate housing. I hear all the time from longtime Southfield residents, my world is in Southfield. I love living in Southfield, but I really don't need that 4-bedroom house anymore. And I don't want the yard anymore, but I want to stay here. And we don't have enough options for people who want to stay in Southfield, but have something more manageable for them. And so we're working on that. So again, another affordable And again, this takes cooperation with, again, with our planning department and our city council. We have single-family lots. With the price of real estate and the cost of construction materials today, we're starting on doing affordable duplexes on single-family lots. So this is creative. It also provides much-needed housing. We're also seeing, I'm a very strong proponent, big believer in adaptive reuse. Buildings are built for one purpose. Times change. It's not sustainable to keep throwing everything away, everything going in a landfill. So we need to work on adaptive reuse. And consequently, we're seeing a number of adaptive reuse projects. So the former Hawthorne Suites Extended Stay Hotel at Central Park Boulevard and the freeway is now going to be the alcove for affordable rental housing. The former John Grace School just got all of the approvals from the city council for the conversion of this school into 60 units. There's a typo here. 60 units of subsidized senior housing. We're submitting an application to MSHDA on April 1st to hopefully get the state tax credits to make this project go. Secondly, another school that's been vacant for years, McKinley Place. This is the old McKinley School, built originally in 1929 at 10 Mile and Southfield Roads. These are going to be condominiums, 40 units altogether, and some very unique spaces in the school, 950 to 2,500 square feet. These will be market rate condominiums with, on the playground, 11 two-family Tudor homes that you can see in the illustration there, to kind of sync with the college Gothic architecture of the original McKinley School. This project has long been delayed. This is a Deerbrook. It's starting now at 9 Mile and Lasher. This is a 39-unit market rate condo development with first floor masters. Again, this is meeting a need in our community for older residents who want to stay here and don't want stairs. So we know that the demand exists. We have under construction right now are 21 townhome by Maple Tree complex out Northwestern Highway. It should be completed this summer. Arbor Lofts, this is one of our first office conversion projects. Back in 2013, this obsolete office building became loft apartments. It has remained full, about 98% leased, and they're now proposing projects on Civic Center Drive as well as to the north, roughly 72 more apartments. And then we're very, very excited about this. Middle Point Development. As you know, there was an office building across from City Hall that was demolished years ago. And the city took control of a little more than 8 acres. This property is set to become a very exciting mixed-use development. Again, with retail, dining, green space, and I am really hoping for a gourmet market. Southfield should have a gourmet market. Another picture of what's planned here with plenty of parking, retail, and then housing units above. Very attractive. But we're still building single-family homes. All across the city, we have vacant lots where either a house was demolished or just never built upon. So we're seeing a steady increase in single-family home construction. And we're also seeing landlords that are, again, projects age, time to do some serious renovation. So for instance, what was once called the Garden View and then the Atrium Apartments on 9 Mile and Providence Drive is now going under a total rehabilitation called, and to be renamed, the Adoro. We're very, very glad to see this. The Trowbridge, Park at Trowbridge, 308 units, also is going under a complete renovation, and the guts of the building, the mechanical systems were out of date, are being totally replaced. So moving on to business developments, you know, again, as you're all well aware, we're in a time where things really have changed, and it's very uncertain where we're going forward due to the impact of the pandemic that we've all been through. So our commercial, Southfield has a lot of commercial and office space where we just don't know exactly how all of this is going to shake out. But a key, obviously for us, is adaptive reuse of the spaces that we have. So, and helping new businesses come to Southfield, a very, very successful program that we share, the city shares with Lawrence Tech. And this is the Centropolis Business Accelerator and their new Evolution Lab. And again, you can see there on the screen all of the impact that the accelerator has had in its few years of existence, with new products commercialized, new jobs, new patents, and so on and so forth. And what's really unique about this is like graduate school. They're on the campus of LTU, and Dan, I'm looking right at you because, stand up, you've done a phenomenal job. This and the team, but you know, this accelerator, there's a lot of talent at Lawrence Tech. And to me, if we can capture some of that talent, bring them over to the accelerator, and then get them to stay here. We've had a brain drain for years from Michigan. And so I'm very, very pleased with how this is going. And then their Evolution Lab is taking the existing small businesses and helping them grow. So this is a key to the changing times we're in. So I really see the accelerator as a linchpin to the change that we're facing that's kind of uncertain. And again, it's all about, and the work that Shelley Freeman does, the business attraction and retention, diversification, skilled workforce, private and public partnerships, and talent retention. So we have a couple of new developments. Even so, our building department and planning department have remained very busy, even so that we've been in a pandemic. So Enterprise Rent-A-Car on Telegraph is now building their third and largest installation at Garner, and which is 9.5 Mile and Telegraph. We have a sports dome that's working its way through financing on 9 Mile and Southfield. Chick-fil-A, a lot of people are pleased to hear that Chick-fil-A will be at Tel 12. Little fight with council on that one. Anyhow, it's going to be an outlet. Verizon Wireless is expanding. Long delayed on Northwestern Highway near the Red Pole. The project was started, the pandemic came, and so if you've driven by there, you know that the two new hotels, Staybridge and Hampton Inn, are on their way. We have some of our office buildings are very old, and this particular one on Southfield Road, just above 12 Mile, is obsolete. I was amazed to learn that it didn't even have an elevator. This two-story building, it's about almost completely empty. So it's going to be make way for the Southfield Storage Facility, which we have learned there's a continuing demand for. But the coolest thing about this, being the art lover that I am, is they're required to do a public art installation. And we suggest anything up to, we're try to be modest, anything up to about $25,000. They're spending $220,000 to put on the top of the building that a replica of that famous picture from the 1930s of the construction of the Empire State Building, where the guys are all out on a beam, kind of scary, having lunch. So look for that. I'm very excited about that and their enthusiasm. Maybe it helped that the builder of this is a former student of mine from Thompson Junior High School. Not sure. This is one of the most, the coolest adaptive reuses. This building at 11 Mile in Inkster was the former regional headquarters for Michigan National Bank. Again, an obsolete building, not very attractive. The banks have gone through these consolidations, so we have a company in Southfield called Sun Communities. They're over on Franklin Road, but their showroom and product development center moved into this, and it's fully occupied. And when I was young, I used to go, I had a pup tent and a sleeping bag. Those days are over for me. Sleeping on the ground, that was years ago. So if I'm going camping, I'm going glamping. And that's what Sun Communities does. They create glamping. So they have these wonderful, either extravagant tents or these whole buildings that you can drag onto and don't have to bother with mosquitoes or they're air conditioned, all that sort of thing, all the comforts of home. But you're out in the wilderness, right? So you'll hear more about this later. The Federal Mobile World Headquarters, that company got shrunk and then got consumed. And so we were very concerned because this is a very large space at the corner of Northwestern Highway and Lasher Road. And so even in the pandemic, Morelli took over the building, has put, and they'll tell you more about it in a bit, but moved in 500 people in their North American offices. And Morelli is one of the world's now largest auto suppliers. This former donut shop and on Lasher Road is now Loom Medical Marijuana. They've opened last week. We welcome them, not by everybody. And then proposed, Plant Moran for years was on Northwestern Highway, and they have moved to the town center in new offices. And this building, the Friedman Group is proposing retail and storage, but again, adaptive reuse. We have to meet the demand. Just as First Federal Bank was consumed, this is now the Bell's event space. Copper Canyon closed many years ago, sat there dilapidated. It's now going to be a gourmet, new sold gourmet market. Work is underway, saving the bones of the building but rebuilding it. And then the granddaddy project of all. We sweated through years with Northland, tried to work with the former owners that defaulted, and then we have worked very, very hard to save this property and find an adaptive reuse. And I'm very, very pleased that we found the right developer. and someone who honors a company, Contour Companies, that honors the history of Northland, and yet is taking the past and moving it into the present. And so we have a mixed-use development that is saving the original mall. A lot of us have great memories of Northland. Hudson's will become Hudson City Market with food, dining, entertainment, home furnishings, retail, perhaps a boutique hotel, and then luxury loft apartments above, as well as using that whole underground that is phenomenal. Groundbreaking has started on the first two buildings on Evergreen. There are 4 stories of apartments, first floor, actually 5-story building, but 4 stories above, 1 story of retail. So with that, we're going to switch to a short video, and then I'm going to call our panel up. I'd like to ask David Dubuque, the Chief Operating Officer of Contour, to come on up, our City Planner, Terry Crode, and Dolores Flagg, Chairperson of the Southfield Public Arts Commission. So, David, I'm going to start with you. say a few words about your project. We're sharing microphones.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. We're very excited with our value. Now? There you go. Okay. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for everybody for coming today, and good afternoon. We are very excited to be a part of Northland City Center's redevelopment and revitalization to the corner, or I guess I could say the heart of Southfield. This has been a development, like you've said, Mr. Mayor, for so many years now that everybody anticipated what would occur, what would happen. And I'm glad to say that we've started work for the past 6 months. We've done an immense amount of demolition. I guess a site like this you have to take down and rebuild back up, and that's the process we're in right now. Thousands of feet of infrastructure has gone in, hundreds of thousands of feet of demolition has occurred in the past 6 months. And like the mayor mentioned, we have broke ground now on the first 2 buildings, which will consist of 200 multifamily apartments and about 32,000 square feet of commercial retail space. Again, we are very excited. I thank everybody for their support. We have a long journey ahead of us, but we look forward to it. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's great to see everybody in person again. The mayor, hit all the right points about placemaking. But I do want to share that I've been in the business for over 35 years as a planner, and things are changing quicker than they ever have in my entire career. And a lot of trends that were happening in housing, in employment, in recreation, in education have only been accelerated during COVID. And as we come out of this 2-year pandemic, things will never be the same, some for the better, maybe some not so good, but we're constantly embracing change and trying to stay fluid and stay one step ahead of the curve. And we look forward to all the great things that are happening here in Southfield. Thank you.
They say the best for last. Anyway, my name is Dolores Flagg, and I am an artist, an art enthusiast, and most of all, it is in my blood, the passion for art. Art has the power to transform, to illuminate, to educate, inspire, and motivate. And certainly what you have seen, the presentation that Mayor Seibert has presented, reflects all of those entities. Southfield is all about Southfield. We're celebrating change, and certainly I'm so happy to be a part of a panel, a prestigious panel, list who are here to talk about the different changes, the different initiatives that are taking place in Southfield. And certainly I am so proud and so happy to be a part of this movement, making history and making a movement towards the betterment of Southfield. Thank you.
We have thank you. We have a microphone here. We're inviting questions. If anybody has a question for the panelists or myself, come on up to the microphone so that your question can be heard by everyone in the room. And don't be shy. No questions? Somebody's got to have a question. Willie Bell, come on down.
That was amazing. I really appreciate all the excitement that's stirring up within Southfield right now. And so, Mayor, thank you so much for your leadership and all that's going on and everybody involved. My question, though, is about the buildings. Have you guys considered the shipping containers type of construction? As we know, the price of lumber and everything else is quadrupled in some areas.
I'll take that. As a matter of fact, tonight at the Planning Commission, we are reviewing the new proposed fire tower in conjunction with the school site on Lasser, and it's going to be built all out of shipping containers. We're also finalizing our master plan, and we're looking, as I said, there's lots of trends in housing, adaptive reuse, as the mayor had indicated in his presentation, but we're looking at tiny homes, accessory dwelling units, and of course, alternative means of construction. So these are some of these trends that we've been seeing, especially on the West Coast. They're making their way across the country, and we are trying to be adaptive. We've been creative with our overlay development district, our residential unit development district, to take advantage of adaptive reuse of our schools, and we certainly will be looking at that as an option with working with the council on providing more affordable, alternative types of housing here in Southfield.
The second question I have a follow-up, okay? So I'm a Southfield resident, right? But I'm also I run a nonprofit organization, as the mayor knows. And I wanted to know, are there any opportunities for nonprofit partnerships or collaborations or anything that nonprofits could be considered in, particularly when it comes to maybe workforce or the workforce? Because the nonprofit I run helps fathers get back on track with their children and that kind of thing. So we help men get back on track when they want a second chance at getting things right. But one of those pieces is key to our success with helping these men are getting them jobs. Are there job opportunities that would be connected with maybe nonprofit work?
Congratulations on something like that, because I think that's wonderful to help back with community and especially fathers. We're working close with the DDA on the next step for nonprofits for revitalization of Northland, and we anticipate to have more conversations in the near future.
So who would I talk to?
I would say you speak to the DDA. I think Shelley Freeman and Al would help you tremendously with that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congresswoman?
Yes, I just want to say, just so proud of the city and all the advancements you made. The redevelopment of Northland is a hallelujah moment. But I just wanted to stand here in the capacity of the federal government. The initiatives that you're doing, you didn't highlight the environmental impact of your development. And that is federal dollars is just waiting to be tapped into. And when we're reusing these buildings and taking them from obsolete energy uses and upgrading them, and also when we're talking about, I know something the city, Mr. Crow, our planning director and I talked a lot about, is repurposing, also in protecting our green space. So I would like for you all to talk about that, because Northland was a sea of concrete, and when I look at the site plan, I see the purpose development of green space, which is extremely important to our environment, and the investment in our infrastructure when it comes to water use. As we bring more people in, that's more water use. So I would just like to ask that, and just to say, from being a resident, from being a public servant here in Southfield, this is just an amazing place. Thank you, Mayor, for your vision and everything that you all do.
I can make a couple of comments.
Yeah, and I would just say that the design of Northland is to be a walkable community. Again, it was very auto-dominated. Go ahead.
Yeah, just again, when Northland was built in the 1950s, it was close to 100 acres of just asphalt and concrete with no stormwater management. And the revised plan incorporates stormwater management. And we not only want to treat and clean the water, but we want to use it as an amenity. And one of the feature parks as part of the Phase 2 redevelopment includes a large water basin and some smaller ones throughout. And Mayor, our former Mayor, Congresswoman Lawrence, and she's the one that brought me on board, and I'm always thankful for her vision and faith in me. But we have updated our zoning ordinance to include green infrastructure, the walkability, the bikeability, adaptive reuse, so those buildings don't end up in a landfill, are all part of it. And I'm very proud to say, working with city administration, we have our new sustainability planner that started in my office on Monday. Suzanne Hanna, you want to stand up? And the city, with the leadership of the city council, we are now members of ICLEI, and we will be developing a sustainability and climate action plan to further all the good things that our federal partners, and not only is it a good thing to do, it's the right thing to do. And we look forward to many better things in that area. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lawrence. That was, when we look at Northland Mall, and both of the mayor and Terry touched on it, you can't find 100 acres with the history and the awesome structures ever again. And it'd be a shame to take those structures down. It would cost a lot of money. And we appreciate the state's help on the funding, with the city's help on the funding, but they both touched on, we want to make it walkable. We want to make it, and I've said it before, a city within a city. The city of Southfield has tremendous potential. It doesn't have a downtown, and I think this could become the downtown of Southfield and add more residents, add more density, walkable, and then the parks and working with the planning department on that. We want to also have green space. We don't want to just have brick and mortar everywhere. So it's very important for us also to restore that aspect of it. Thank you.
Mr. Hicks.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Charles Hicks, and I'm representing the Southfield Public Schools. I applaud the mayor, council, and the city for this upcoming development. I believe that everything that's happening is a teachable moment and an opportunity for us to expose our students to potential careers and for all that growth that's happening around them. Are there opportunities for internships or for, as the developments progress, for our students to understand all it takes for all the construction and development that's happening around them?
Thank you for the question. The mayor has actually brought us a few different local graduates, high school, Southfield residents, Southfield High residents that went through school here, have just gotten a civil degree engineer and are looking for a job, and we are in the process of hiring one right now. And we're 6 months in, but we definitely would love to have conversations on how we can help the community on that side of it, because schooling obviously is the most important thing. We believe that our company, our family believes that the state of Michigan has huge potential. It's a shame for jobs to go somewhere else, but I think it starts, the infrastructure starts with the school systems, and that's the biggest part of it.
I just want to add also that we have a strong town and gown relationship with Lawrence Technological University. We've had a number of professional practice classes in the planning department. I spoke with Mr. James Jackson recently about the summer camp that we're going to be hosting in partnership with the university to expose our high school students to the profession of landscape architecture and urban planning. I'd be happy to have more offline conversations. And we also are happy to come into the schools and talk to the students about the great professional career in partnership with the city of Southfield.
Before you leave, I want to share with you also that the Southfield Public Arts is definitely passionate about exposing young artists. As a matter of fact, we have a art exhibition going on right now at the City Hall, Our Future, and I have a young student from Southfield Public Schools who will be showcasing his artwork, hopefully, at the City Hall. So we do tie in as much as we can from the arts. Do not leave us out, because we know the arts, a city without the arts is empty to a certain degree. But we know that the vitality of the arts and its students, we nurture them through the public arts. So it's a channel for showcasing their works.
Thank you all.
I do have a question for Commissioner Flagg.
Yes.
Why don't you take a minute and talk about future directions of the Art Commission for the next year or two? Things we.
Well, first and foremost, I thank you so much, Mayor. I have to give credit and those the stakeholders who had the vision and the courage to move forward to develop the Southfield Public Arts Commission. We are a body of 11, and not to extend or talk too much about the organization, but all I can say is that we're moving forward. We're doing great things that will impact not only now, but in the future. I brought along with me, this is our manual, this is our art guide. In it, and it's online, and you can, you may download it and see. It shows all the artworks that are in the city of Southfield, every piece. So we know that the arts have a significant role. We have so many initiatives that are going on. I'm just excited. The last one we just were involved with was an art exhibit that was at the City Hall. An artist, John Osler, and if you have not seen his artwork, we do invite you to go. We also have, and I had the experience of going to New Soul Restaurant, and we saw the unveiling of an art piece that was done at the Korean restaurant by a Korean artist. So we engaged not only the business, but we also engage artists to showcase the work. We are working on so many projects now, and I don't know which way to begin or where to start, but nonetheless, there's a poster board out to see the various arts initiatives that has been done for the city. I mean, we're from the roundabouts to the tapestry. We have, as the mayor has mentioned, Dr. Hubert Massey. He's working on the obelisk. He completed the beautiful tapestry at the corner of Northwestern Highway. And we all engaged in the ceramic piece of putting the pieces, many pieces, developing one piece. And that is reflective of Southfield. So, as I said before, we've got a lot of things going, and that manual, the art guide, depicts
Our focus for the next year or two is going to be 9 Mile. With what we're seeing, the redevelopment of the 9 Mile corridor, starting from Hazel Park through Ferndale. If you haven't driven through Oak Park, they've made a major transformation on 9 Mile. And so we want to bring that across at least to Barbara Woods at 9 Mile and Evergreen. And to Trustee Hicks, we do have we're doing murals. We're going to be announcing with the Parks and Rec Commission murals for empty spaces at Beechwoods Recreation Center. So it's going to be an open call for muralists. And certainly they could be Southfield Public Schools students. So there's another opportunity. I think I'm getting the signal that we got to move on. So it's my pleasure next to, and I want to thank the panel. So trying to stay on time here. So it's my pleasure to introduce the interim president and CEO of Ascension Hospital, Providence Hospital, Roland Cruikshank. Roland, come on up.
Everybody sleeping? Y'all awake? You can stand, stretch a little bit. Don't go to sleep on me, okay? Is the food? Good food, right? So Roland Cruikshank, I am new to the community, 8 months in, just relocated here. Very excited to be here. This is my first event, so give me a little bit of grace. I'm meeting a lot of people for the first time, but it's an amazing time to be affiliated work in supporting the amazing city of Southfield. So I will get through a couple slides. I want at least a plug for Ascension Michigan Employer Solution, please. And also members of the Southfield team at the table. So, all right, so really quickly, everybody knows Southfield Hospital, okay? It is the best hospital in the region. It rocks. Thank you, Congresswoman. That's all I need to hear. Very good, awesome. Here's why it rocks. Leapfrog A. Roland, what the heck is Leapfrog? You're like, what is Leapfrog? It's an A. You got Leapfrog A, B, C, D. Southfield is Leapfrog A. Here's why it's important. Okay? Leapfrog is an industry watchdog. We have to send them information about our safety and quality outcomes, right? So the reality is that based on the safety and quality outcomes, the mortality outcomes, you need to know if you come to Southfield Hospital, you're coming to an A because the probability of you walking out is significantly better than, all right? So that's the tangible value of having a Leapfrog A, and we've been a Leapfrog A for the last several years. That's high quality. Say after me, high quality. There you go, in the city of Southfield. Now if I tell you the caliber of philanthropic leaders who come to Southfield, you'll be blown away. Who may have looked outside of Michigan for care, and they realize that the best place for care is right in their backyard. You will be astonished. So don't take Southfield for granted, is my point. All right, CMS, 4-star rating hospital. You get up to 5-star, Southfield is a 4-star, right? CMS, we take the information to CMS and they give us back what our rating is. Top 24 early COVID care. So the first case of COVID in Michigan was identified where? Take a guess. Southfield. I can't hear you. Yes, Southfield. Okay, so Health Grades, much like IBM, is another industry consumer watchdog. They look out for you all, okay, to ensure that as we become much more consumeristic, you can go online as a consumer, and you can Google and understand which facilities, irrespective of the name and how big their buildings are, how much brick and steel they are, those watchdogs help us understand where care is safe and excellent. They recently recognized the top 24 hospitals in the country for cutting-edge COVID care. Southfield was recognized nationally. Your Southfield Hospital. All right. Real quickly, I'm just these minor detail stuff. Top 50 hospital, only 3 in Michigan was recognized. Southfield was there. There's other place called Beaumont Royal Oak and but they just had to get 3, so they went to 2 others. That's how it goes, right? Yeah, I'm sorry. Bunch of stuff. Excellent stuff, top-notch care. Here's what I'm really excited about. So, I'm new. I met David. David and I are becoming close friends because the Northland Project, if you could appreciate the geography of the work that's getting done at Northland in proximity to the Southfield Hospital, I am really, really, really bullish about what that does in terms of creating a medical village, right? Because right now, there's roughly 250 GME learners, residents, fellows, future physicians who rotate at Southfield every day, 250. So what we think will occur in the next coming future, David, the lawyers won't let me share anything else besides just this very image. But we envision a very dynamic, energetic medical corridor anchored by a top 50 Okay, healthcare institution, that's Leapfrog A, okay, well recognized, well respected. And we have over 2,500 associates are employed at Southfield. Only 200 live in the community. So check the math out, right? I got 2,500 folks who we pay every day. I would love for more to be living next door and they can walk to work or cycle to work. Okay? Plus, I have over 250 future doctors who get paid really, really well to learn to be physicians, and guess how many of them can live right next door? So I leave you with this. I'm really bullish about what the relationship with Contour and David and the city and the DDA will do for this area. It will be a juggernaut. There's so many things I want to talk about, but the attorney said to zip it, so I got to zip it. But to the Congresswoman's point, this is a catalytic moment in history in our lifetime where I believe that we can work together as a community and really transform what Southfield city and community is moving forward. So thank you for giving me some of your time. I appreciate it. And I get to introduce, we have a very strong strategic relationship with Lawrence Tech, where they are training many of the future associates that we will soon employ. Dr. Tariq M. Su. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the gracious invitation to speak to the group. They asked me to speak for 8 minutes. They did not know that I'm a professor, right? So good luck to all of you. I will try to go fast. I moved to Southfield approximately 1.5 years ago. I served as a year in the position of Provost of Lawrence Tech, and I have been in the president position for slightly 3 months. All I can say is, on a personal level, I have been feeling home from day one. So I'm incredibly grateful to the community of the city of Southfield, and of course to my colleagues at Lawrence Tech, and all our partners, including Ascension and the school districts, for making me, on a personal level, feel welcome in the community. And I want to start very quickly by mentioning a personal story about my own job search that led me to Lawrence Tech. I served in Connecticut as an engineering dean for 20 years in one of the largest engineering schools in the Northeast, and then progressed to be a vice president, an executive vice president of my university. At some point, actually, I was the longest serving engineering dean in the country. That's not a cool thing in general, but that's what happened. At the end of my tenure, and because of changing circumstances, kids growing up and all, I was looking for an interesting challenge as a president or a provost of specifically a technologically focused university. I am a roboticist by training. So I wanted to move to a university that's very elite, that's very comprehensive, somewhere in the country, and I didn't really have any geographical limitations, but mostly a university that really ensures that graduates are very technologically savvy and totally prepared for the jobs of the future. The jobs that don't really exist yet as of now, right? So I started a very comprehensive job search. I looked at every university in the country. Believe it or not, there are 6,000 institutions of higher learning in the US, the highest concentration of universities per capita in the world, ranging from community colleges all the way to research universities. And after a very long search, I was only able to identify 56 universities in the whole country that are technological universities by mission, vision, and even name, right? Less than 1%, which is kind of stunning in the 21st century, right? With all of the jobs in every discipline requiring technological education. That's topic for a different discussion. I also wanted a university that's very comprehensive, meaning offering all the disciplines, all the way from bachelor's to doctoral level, extensive facilities. And I also wanted to make sure that it is a university that's very inclusive, that offers these technological opportunities for all of the students regardless of their major. And there were only half of these 56 universities that were truly comprehensive in the whole country, less than 0.5%. And by nature, I like to do things fast. For some of you who know me, I mean, no disrespect, but I did not want to work in a public university. I wanted to work in a private university. That's where I spent most of my career. And there were only 13 of these, 13 out of 6,000 universities in the whole country that are comprehensive, technological, and private. And we are one of them. And that's by itself is an amazing thing. For this amazing city to be home to one of these elite 13 technological comprehensive private university is truly an honor for LTU, and I hope also for the city. LTU is in the company of such eminent comprehensive technological universities, the other 12, like the MIT, like Caltech, like RPI, and the names, household names that we all know about. Furthermore, first of all, so that we're on the same page, after I discovered that there are only 13 universities that I'm really looking at, of course I gave up, right? I mean, it's a very small set of employers, right? And I'm looking for only one of two positions, president and provost. Presidents and provosts typically last forever. That's higher academia for you. 5 days after I finished my search, I got contacted by the recruiter, the international recruiter for Lawrence Tech. And it was like karma, I ended up being here and it's been a blessing. What I wanna really emphasize about Lawrence Tech is not only its elite nature as a provider of future education. What I want to emphasize is, unlike many of the other amazing 12 universities, we are truly about theory and practice. We are truly about engagement with industry. We are truly about economic development. 85 to 90% of our students go through a co-op or internship at least once before they graduate. Usually, people ask presidents and deans and provosts, what is the percentage of students who graduate and find a job within 6 months of graduation? It is the national standard for employability. My problem is not to find a job for my students. My problem is to keep them till they graduate, because every one of them gets a job offer before they finish school. That's how amazing Lawrence Tech is. We keep our classes small-sized, which is an amazing differentiator. Our classes from the freshman year all the way to the PhD have projects in them that are industry-driven. The great work that our colleague Dan is doing with the accelerator is a testament to the theory and practice nature of Lawrence Tech. The terrific work that my Vice President Lisa Kohawa of Enrollment Management is doing with the city of Southfield in providing summer camps. This year we have more than 800 students coming to our STEAM summer camps in Southfield, 800 high school students. The work that we're doing in dual enrollment, this year we have enrolled over 1,000 students in high schools in our 111 college classes. We are offering scholarships to approximately 87% of our incoming freshman year. As a matter of fact, this last fall was the highest number of ever incoming freshman students in the 90-year history of Lawrence Tech. And that's something we're incredibly proud of. The state of Michigan is home to 22 private universities and approximately 18 public universities. Amongst all the 22 private universities, Lawrence Tech, during the pandemic, last spring, this fall, and the following spring, was the only university that have seen an enrollment surge in the enrollment. Every other university has seen a decline through the pandemic. And I think some statements that were mentioned earlier is very important to emphasize. The value of higher education is being questioned, right? No parents want to send their kid to college for 4 years, spend upwards of $50, $100 or more $1,000, and end up with that kid being in the basement for a couple of years after graduation, right? I'm the father of 4 of these kids, so I know exactly. They did not stay in the basement, fortunately. We are not that. We are a real university that does workforce development. We are a real university that graduates students with a living wage. Lawrence Tech average salary upon graduation last year was $64,000, placing it as #1 in the Metro Detroit area and second in the state of Michigan. We're very proud of this. We are incredibly proud of our collaboration with the city of Southfield, not only in enrollment and engagement with the high schools, but in other economic development measures. I am being told numerous times so far to wrap up, as you can all tell. These numbers are telling. This is the impact of Lawrence Tech, more than $300 million a year of economic impact on the Metro Detroit region. Our involvement with the city, seeing you attending the national championships, lacrosse championships this year and next year at our campus would be wonderful. And we look forward to seeing all of you this coming September, where we have 3 things going on at the same time. It will be Lawrence Tech's 90th anniversary this year. It also will be our homecoming week, and will be also the first TED Talk in this region of Michigan, which will be hosted at that time. And finally, the presidential inauguration. So we look forward to seeing all of you. Thank you. I can't believe I did this in 8 minutes. Now it's my pleasure and honor to introduce the next speaker, Jean Spector, the Senior Vice President for Sales and New Business Development for North America Marelli.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you think it's difficult for a professor to keep to time, a sales guy, it's impossible. However, I am going to try. First of all, I'd like to thank Mayor Cyber, the city of Southfield, for all of the support in getting Marelli to where we are today. A quick introduction. As was mentioned, I'm Gene Spector, and I'm the Senior VP of Sales and Business Development for North America for Marelli. And although we may be the new kids on the block in Southfield, we're certainly not new to the automotive industry, and we're certainly not new to providing our customers with the types of parts, technological parts that they're used to and that the ultimate end user customer demands. Just a little bit of a few numbers about the organization. We are globally the 18th largest supplier of automotive parts. We have approximately 54,000 employees globally in 170 locations. We were brought together when KKR bought Calsonic Kansai and then Magneti Marelli to form Marelli in May of 2019. However, between the two companies, we have well over 100 years of experience in the automotive world. So, without speaking for a very long period of time, I would like to move to the next slide and show a short video about some of our products and some of our technologies. It's very important to note that we're not only an automotive supplier, but we are a tech company. Our new headquarters in Southfield is made up of the old Federal Mobile Building, as has been mentioned before. And of the 200,000 plus square feet that we have in the building, 100,000 square feet is dedicated to research, development, and testing. So we do much of the testing in-house. We also have a product showcase that you can see here, where we feature products and our technologies from the various divisions that we have. As a matter of fact, in a few weeks, we're going to be hosting 6 OEMs for technology days in our new facility. Currently, we have 350 people in the building with the ability to grow to the 500 that the mayor had mentioned earlier. And certainly as a result of the extensive 2-year remodeling project that we did have, we have plenty of space to continue to grow, plenty of space for collaboration, and plenty of space to display the technology and the product that we have for our customers. You know, as the mayor had mentioned, we had brought back our employees a couple of weeks ago. And what was clear is that having the open workspace, the collaboration areas, the places to actually meet and to, you know, come up with short-term targets, with long-term targets. Just a quick story. The first day we had brought in lunch for everyone, and at the end of the day I was walking around just to make sure that kind of everything was back where it needed to be. And I walked by one of the conference rooms that's kind of snuck away a little bit. And there were a couple of engineers in that room. And I just stuck my head in to say hello. And this is really after a couple of years of not being together. And the 2-minute hello conversation turned into really a 15-minute collaborative discussion about the short-term strategy that we have to have right now based on the current business targets and the current, you know, business model and the current issues that are happening in the world. And after that conversation, you know, one of the engineers said, you know, this is what was missing when we were trying to do the Zoom meetings or the team meetings. You can't get together and you can't have that quick discussion that really puts you on a path for the future. So again, I'd like to thank you very much for the opportunity to present Morelli to everyone. And with that, it's, you know, my pleasure to invite Lathrop Village Mayor Kelly Garrett to the stage.
Okay, so I hope everybody's still sitting down. Nobody's running for the doors right now, right? You know, when the bases are loaded, they always send in the best person to bring everybody home, right? I know that was such a narcissistic move, but anyway. I'm so happy to be here again with you all and seeing everyone here. I was trying to figure out, because I'm actually supposed to be in a meeting. Something always is going on with me when I come here. But I'm supposed to be in a meeting in 1 minute. So what I'm going to do is try to figure out the high points of Lathrop Village. And so one of the high points are the people of Lathrop Village. And so I want to introduce our team first. First, I want to introduce Mayor Pro Tem Bruce Cantor. Our new council member, Jalen Jennings. Our new councilwoman, Karen Miller. Our interim city manager, Pam Barachi, and our treasurer. She just disappeared. Our other interim city manager, Susie Steck. I have a few things that I wanted to say, but I'm going to kind of just jump around if it's okay with you all. One thing that I'm really, really happy about is that we have a 3-year commitment from Oakland County, and we will have a business forward consultant that is housed in City Hall that's going to help build businesses, also help businesses that are struggling, and a business that may not be struggling. And I hope you're still here, Jamar. Jamar Bray, I didn't want to mess your last name up. Thank you. Then we also have some new businesses that are in Lathrop right now. We have the Beauty Hunters, Anchor Fish Market. I actually have not been able to eat there yet because I gave up fried food for Lent, but that's okay. US Rehab, and then of course most of you all have seen probably on Southfield Road that the BP gas station will be opening in June. The one thing that I am also very, very proud of is that Governor Whitmer just awarded $3.5 million in the Michigan Clean Water grants to only 9 cities. Take a wild guess, one of the cities will be? Absolutely. So we received $232,135. Obviously, I do not say money over $200,000 because I'm struggling on that one, but. And then, of course, we executed the infrastructure plan. We have a $5.85 million road improvement millage, which started last year, which was so much fun. If you've been in Lathrop, you know it's a small city, and to have all the streets tore up pretty much at one time, it was a lot of fun. And I can't wait to April for it to start all over again. But those are really our highlights. And of course, if you have seen me speak before, you know I gotta give you a fun fact, right? Fun fact. Did you know that sharks cannot swim backwards? Did you know that sharks cannot stop? Because if they stop, they will drown. So today I encourage you. When people tell you what you can't do, when someone belittles you, if they tell you your dream is ridiculous, or that you can't do what you're saying you're gonna do, or achieve what you know you can, keep a sharp mentality and keep moving forward. Thank you very much. I'm Mayor Kelly Garrett. And I'm sorry, now we're going to introduce Jasmine Patton, the Executive Director of the Southfield Area Chamber, and she will provide the closing remarks. Thank you.
Special thank you to all of our presenters today. Thank you, Mary Cyber. Thank you to everyone hanging in there and enjoying this new format. I hope you felt our upbeat celebration of change this year. We look forward to doing it again next year. In lieu of a traditional gift, we are offering a favor. We are offering a monetary donation to 5 charities instead of doing a favor for this event. Thank you. I'll take the one clap. We believe the best gift that we can give is giving back to our community and helping others in need. Together we embrace and celebrate positive change. Thank you all for joining us for the Southfield State of the City Address 2022. Have a good rest of the afternoon.